You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Good morning, Bikini Bottom!
Good morning, Sandy.
Look! They're taking Bikini Bottom!
What's going on? What? I washed my hands.
What the hey? Boots, Marine Biology Lab.
Everyone I ever loved is gone.
We're going to save our friends. Let's go. Come on, SpongeBob.
KFI AM 640. It's Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, drops on Netflix August 2nd. And I don't know about you, I can't wait when Bikini Bottom is suddenly scooped out of the ocean. Sandy Cheeks and SpongeBob journey to Sandy's home state of, get this, Texas, where they meet Sandy's family and must save Bikini Bottom from the hands of an evil CEO. But I'm here to tell you, they messed with the wrong squirrel. Sandy Cheeks is voiced by Carolyn Lawrence, and it's my pleasure to welcome her back on the show. Carolyn, thank you for coming on this evening. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. I thank you for having me again. It's nice to talk with you.
It's nice to see that Sandy the Squirrel is taking center stage in Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie. Where did the idea come from to delve deeper into Sandy's backstory and family?
Honestly, I have no idea where the idea came from. It must have come from the powers that be at Nickelodeon. And it filtered down. And when I first heard like rumors about it, I thought, no, they're never gonna do that. Are you? And then here we are, and it's actually happening, and I'm really excited.
You mentioned here we are. Let me go back to where you were. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie came out in 2004. It's hard to believe, 2004. And I mentioned that only to highlight that you've had some 20 years with the character of Sandy. None of us are the same people that we were 20 years ago, but you have to ensure a continuity of voice and character over those 20 years. Has your interpretation or intonation of Sandy at all changed or evolved?
I'm sure it has, because you're right. I mean, we grow as human beings. Well, one would hope that we grow and learn as human beings. Some don't, some do. But, yeah, definitely. I know early on, my youthful enthusiasm, I was always too speedy, and the creator would hold up these signs during records that just said, slow down. Cause in my mind, squirrels are fast and chattering and but also I just have an abundance of enthusiasm when I'm recording. So, I think I've gotten better at controlling that. I used to knock my stand and all kinds of just being so spastic. And I think I've calmed down in that arena a tiny bit. I was thinking about the difference in vocal quality. Obviously, we're 25 years older. And yes, you have to maintain a certain consistency, but also within reality. You can't be who you were, but I think overall the cast has done a pretty good job. And also, the director will remind you, like if you get too far away from who you're supposed to be, they'll be like, hey.
It's interesting. Yeah. You mentioned the recording process and also the cast. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, which drops on Netflix August 2nd, as I said, boasts a really impressive voice and live action cast. I'm talking about Clancy Brown, Mary Jo Catlett, Wanda Sykes, Craig Robinson, Johnny Knoxville, and others. How much interaction do you have with your castmates, with voice or live action actors, or are you all pretty much independent of one another, with the exception of the live action scenes?
Well, I think what's difficult is that prior to COVID, we all like to be in studio together, and everybody liked to play together. Even when we did movies, we would try to be in studio together so we could have that feeling and that banter. Post COVID, it's still a little different. The studios still don't like to have us all in one soundstage together sometimes. So we weren't as together as normally I would like to be, but it worked out anyway. I think because a lot of us have worked together so long, like even if Clancy's not in the room, I can feel him. I know his read. I know what he's going to do. Like, I know him as a human being. So it feels like he's still there anyway. So I think that helps lead us through, you know, even if it's not ideal. The live action segments, obviously, I didn't get to be there. I would have loved to have been there. But they filmed those in Texas. And it was really fun for me to be able to watch the end result because I'm a fan too, right? Mm-hmm. So I had never seen it. So it was really, I was like, oh, wow, look how good that is. Yeah.
Let's get into the story. Sandy Cheeks has to return home to Texas, Galveston, as a matter of fact, and enlist the help of her family to save Bikini Bottom, which has been taken from the ocean. What should both kids and adults expect on this adventure, which is on land, in the sea, and in the air, for a matter of fact?
It is so epic, and it's so fun, if I do say so myself, to see her as this hero. You know, I knew she had it in her. But wow, she's like not messing around. It is a huge, fun journey. The music's great. The comedy's great. The visuals are phenomenal. I just can't wait for everybody to see it.
I will say this. In it, there is an homage, I'll say, to Kill Bill or Enter the Dragon for those who are eagle-eyed and can identify Easter eggs. How do you go about vocally or in an actor's sense, conveying the idea of a physical, I don't want to say fight scene, but, you know, you're doing real physical things?
Well, right. The funniest thing is people who don't know voiceover at all, right? They think you're just reading. But you're not. You're like truly embodying the character. Like if we're doing fight scenes, I physically am doing my best to do that without knocking over the mic. So, I mean, at the end of a long day, when you've been doing an action scene, even though it's voiceover, you're tired. Your body, you're tired. You're doing it. You're all in.
You must be looking at all my list of questions because I was going to ask you about that because I would assume that performing as Sandy can be taxing on the voice. You're telling me it's taxing on the body. How long can you manage to stay in character on a given recording day if need be?
Well, thankfully that's mandated not by us. So each record generally is 4 hours long. And then you can have a break and then you can do another 4 hours. So if you're doing something super intense, like you're running a lot or there's a lot of karate or you're doing a video game or something, man, you are tired after those 4 hours. Yeah. And also I think I'm the only cast member. I'm not sure. I might be the only cast member that sits down. And I think I sit down when I'm recording because I exert so much energy that if I was standing the entire 4 hours, I'd never make it.
So I picked up something else you said. So a lot of this is actually filmed in Texas. It's set in Texas, a trip to Galveston, Texas. But you're telling me, yeah, they really are in Texas.
Oh, yeah, they really are. They filmed the live action scenes, yeah, in Texas. I don't know in which town. I don't know it. I don't know which, but yeah, the director would call me from there and be like, hey, today went well. I'm like, oh, cool. I want to come see it.
Well, speaking of coming to see it, my time with you has run short, Miss Carolyn Lawrence. So let me ask you and leave you with this question. I know there's something in it for both adults and children, but for someone who's grown up with SpongeBob or Sandy Cheeks, what would you say to them about the growth of the franchise itself?
I think what's cool is that we love these characters so much, and people who grew up with them, they love them. And it's always fun to learn more about somebody you love.
And I think that is a perfect coda. Saving Bikini Bottom, the Sandy Cheeks movie, drops on Netflix August 2nd. It stars Carolyn Lawrence as the Sandy Cheeks, the squirrel. Miss Lawrence, always a joy to speak with you, and I can't wait until we get to do it again sometime.
Me too, Mo. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
It's Later with Mo Kelly, KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
Now it's time for Love by Rolo with Tiffany. Live on KFI is Later with Mo Kelly. She'll talk about the topics on social media. The viral with Tiffany Hobbs.
KFI AM 640. 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Let's get to it. Tiffany Hobbs, take it away.
Here we go. Tonight's stories come from Twitter/X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And because it's the Olympics, we're going to do a special viral load Olympics edition for the first few stories because we're going to keep it current. We're going to look at what's going on in Paris and what's happening. So the first story is about Simone Biles, the Simone Biles, just the star of this Olympics, if you will. Well, her former teammate, Michaela Skinner, had the gall to criticize Team USA, the gymnastics team that is comprised of Simone Biles and others who I'll name shortly in the story, because Michaela Skinner, who is not on the team, feels that Simone Biles is the most talented of the team, is carrying the team, and that the other girls, they're dead weight. So in an Instagram post, Skinner criticized the Team USA gymnast, and she also posted a YouTube video on June 30th following the team selection. She said on Instagram, quote, "Besides Simone, I feel like the talent and the depth just isn't like what it used to be." She went on to say that a lot of girls don't work as hard and that the girls, others besides Simone Biles, just don't have the work ethic. Simone, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is the same Michaela, she was Maroney back then, who was a medalist in her own right.
She was.
She has
Silver.
some stature to talk about it.
She does.
Some stature.
She has one medal to her name.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Not to take anything away from her. I have 0 medals. She has 1. She's besting me in that regard. But she criticized Simone Biles' teammates. Well, Biles didn't like that very much, and she responded in her own post on Threads that, quote, "Not everyone needs a mic and a platform." This started a back and forth, kind of a war of words and indirect posts between Michaela Skinner and Simone Biles, as well as the other teammates. So, Suni Lee, Jordan Childs, Jade Carey, and Hesley Rivera, Simone Biles' teammates on Team USA, were celebrating their gold medal performance, and they took this picture, a beautiful picture with all of them with their medals, and Simone Biles posted this picture and captioned it, "Lack of talent, lazy Olympic champions." That photo goes viral. Of course, it's shared wide. You'll see it. And the caption has become the kind of crux of an argument or a focal point across many different platforms, many different news outlets. Skinner then apparently blocked Simone Biles.
Really?
This is where the drama comes in. Blocked Simone Biles on Instagram. Then Biles responded to that saying, "Oop, I've been blocked," with a laughing face. It doesn't end there. No, the drama continues. So all is not well in Paris. Jordan Childs, teammate, made her own post kind of poking fun sarcastically at Simone Biles being blocked. And then there were just in support of Simone Biles, of course. And then there were additional comments from USA Gym, Suni Lee, other notable athletes, and of course, many fans all across these platforms just saying that Simone Biles completely just disintegrated Michaela Skinner, and they're taking sides, of course. Michaela posted a video defending her comments on Instagram, claiming that she was misunderstood or misinterpreted. And then she later went on to apologize on X for those same statements that started this entire drama at the U.S. Olympics.
Did she unblock Simone Biles?
She did not unblock Simone Biles. They are still currently feuding online with, again, these indirect posts. Michaela Skinner being attacked in her comments, of course, by supporters of Simone Biles and the other teammates. And right now they're kind of at an impasse. They're not addressing it anymore publicly, but we all got to see this play out online.
Here's the thing. Skinner started it.
She did.
Biles ended it.
Biles ended it.
They have scoreboard. They got the gold medal. That's the end of the discussion. No one asked for Skinner to criticize or critique the team. She chose to do that on her own. And then the team, maybe it was a motivating factor, but they met the moment. They got the gold medal. Skinner's going to just have to eat her words. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Well, the only thing that you can say is what Simone Biles actually named Team USA Gymnastics, which is F around and find out.
Oh, she went FAFO on him?
She did. Simone Biles is in her unapologetic era, and she is not to be messed with.
But she has some scores to settle, because I know there were a lot of people talking crazy out of the sides of their mouths when she took a break because of emotional reasons and withdrew from the Tokyo Olympics. I remember a lot of foul stuff that people were saying, and now that she's back on top, yes, I think she should take her victory lap.
Over the last 4 or 5 years, Simone Biles has been the victim of a lot of vitriol and the target of a lot of online comments, which leads right into our next viral story. Simone Biles wants you to stop focusing on her hair, and as she should.
We've seen this before. It happened with Gabby Douglas many years ago.
It did. And because these are two African-American women, two Black women, what seems to be an undercurrent is that a lot of commentary is taking away from their skill level as gymnasts and instead focusing on their appearance because their hair appears to be somewhat unkept.
It's disheveled because you're doing 85 different backflips.
Working out for 12 hours a day. They're sweating profusely. They're earning gold medals like crazy. Back off. So Simone Biles, again, the most decorated Olympian in history, has a message for those who want to leave comments about her hair. And to me, it's really problematic, not just that people are taking the time to comment on her appearance, but that Simone Biles actually feels the need to address these haters.
That's the difference between now and 20 years ago, or even 40 years ago. Mary Lou Retton didn't have to deal with social media and trolls.
Right, exactly. And I don't fault Simone Biles for her feelings. I just hate that she's being put in this position. So Simone Biles posted a video to her Instagram story just a couple of days ago showing off her high ponytail. She has a ponytail. It's what she wears, what you're wearing if you're an athlete.
It's like on the top of her head.
Nothing strange there. She also had a fan because she's saying that it was super duper hot where she was. And this was just hours before the final was expected or scheduled to begin. She posted, "Don't come for me about my hair. It was done, but the bus had no AC and it's like 9,000 degrees. She didn't stop there because neither did these trolls online. She posted another Instagram story and said, "Gonna hold your hand while I say this. Next time you want to comment on a Black girl's hair, just don't." And that has gone viral many times over, again, as it should, because not only should we not be focusing on what Simone Biles looks like down to the minutia of her hair follicles, but this again is the most awarded, the most decorated Olympian in history. Do not minimize that. Do not try and take that away. Celebrate her for her skill.
I would, and you don't know if the trolls are actually Americans, so I will say that. But I do know that there's nothing to criticize her for.
Nothing.
She is excellence personified.
She is.
She is the most decorated, beyond Olympics, the most decorated gymnast in history.
Yes, she is. She is arguably one of the best athletes ever in history. Forget the Olympics. So that is part one of the viral load. When we come back, we're going to talk about one more story that is related to the Olympics. It involves surfing. And then lastly, we're going to ask a question about something that I wonder if the gentlemen have been a part of. And it has to do with
prostitution at Comic-Con.
Maybe so, if we get into the story, but I'll leave it at that. We'll see what it's about.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
This is now part two of the viral load with Tiffany Hobbs.
Okay. As we know, this particular Olympics has actually introduced quite a few new sports to the games. There are sports that have been around for maybe a year or two, or the last couple of Olympics, but there are some fairly new ones, including breakdancing, skateboarding, sport climbing, and surfing, and a photographer caught one of the most iconic and now viral action shots of all time at the Paris Olympics. This is what happened. Brazilian surfer Gabriel Medina scored a near perfect 9.90, which is the highest scoring ever in Olympic history for his particular wave. He then jumped off of his skateboard. So he... Surfboard, not skateboard. Excuse me. That'd be strange. But he jumped off of his surfboard and in a wonderfully caught moment, put his finger up in like the one position. He's just jumping off just in victory, put his finger up in the one position, and a photographer was perfectly positioned and caught this iconic shot of Gabriel Medina. Essentially, it looks like he's walking on the air, or just walking in the air, and his skateboard is perfectly positioned. I keep saying skateboard. Why am I doing that? His surfboard is perfectly positioned right behind him, parallel to him standing up. So it looks like Gabriel Medina and his surfboard, not skateboard, are standing there just against a wall, mid-air. And this shot has gone viral. It's the shot heard round the world, so to speak, or seen round the world. And it will go down in history as one of the, again, most iconic shots ever, not just for Olympics history, but in history in total. So this photographer, I haven't yet gotten his name yet, but you can find him. But you can see the shot on my Instagram. I just posted it, and I actually tagged Later with Mo Kelly. So hopefully it will be reposted there, but you can find it at Tiff Hobbs on here on Instagram. So
it was a once in a lifetime shot for the photographer and for Gabriel Medina. I don't know if you could ever done any better with that.
No, you can't replicate it. It's one of those shots where if you caught it, then you really caught lightning in a bottle. It would be really hard to duplicate that shot. The last story is not really Olympics related unless you talk about self-care and needing some downtime and perhaps a luxurious spa experience. What am I talking about? The question I'm going to ask is, would you ever book an appointment at a viral head spa?
Hey, wait. Watch your language. We have FCC. Be careful.
A head spa.
I heard what you said. Okay, you got to be careful.
It's a spa for your head. A head spa. Let's get into the details. Let's do that. The newest self-care luxury experience is one for your head. I was waiting for
Tiffany.
I'm sorry. Okay. It's not therapy. It's not a mental angle to it, but instead, it's a luxurious wash and condition experience at a specialty head spa. That's all the rage on TikTok. Many locations will offer a combination.
I feel uncomfortable. This is an inappropriate conversation.
Here's what you can get on the menu if you're lucky. You can get
the menu.
You can pick from this menu.
Does it have a happy ending?
I think it may. Let's get to this. A hair wash. We haven't seen pictures of those who are administering, but as a recipient,
it's probably illegal. You can't do that.
I mean, where is the police to raid this place?
It's a perfectly legal head spa.
I understand that. I'm just like,
I mean, like in Nevada, okay?
You get your head worked on.
I mean, this is spicy.
It's special. You can get a scalp treatment.
Is that what they're calling it now?
Oh, okay. I guess that's a euphemism.
A deep conditioning steam treatment. And
I thought people like to shave that area.
I mean, you do want to keep it nice and trim.
I think that's an add-on, and an upper body massage.
Okay.
I mean, that's almost like working the angle.
Why are you trying to talk in code? We know what you're talking about.
This is very much an experience with temporary benefits, such as relaxation, a great cleanse.
Do they charge by the hour?
A blowout.
Wow. I am going.
No, we can't.
I would like to receive a treatment.
You should get a blowout.
Yes.
I hear they do a great job. Now, some of these also offer a scalp analysis, but be aware this expert says that they're not dermatologists, they're not trichologists, and
They're not trichologists.
Or the study of tricks.
They're not tricky.
take their advice or their diagnostics with a grain of salt. And this has origins in Japanese culture. This is a viral story. It's why I'm sharing it with you. It's viral all over TikTok because this head spa treatment is designed to give you special attention. Attention. And there are many viral head spas. You can find them on TikTok. They range in price from anywhere from $35 to $330.
Do they charge by the hour? You didn't answer my question.
They charge by the hour. They charge by the half an hour. They charge by how much hair you have on your head or do not have on your head. They charge by how much you want to get off the menu.
So there's more.
Thank you.
So there's more.
Caught that. Thank you. There's a lot. So if you want to engage in some self-care, you can go to the newest viral trend, which is a head spa.
This is just so good.
Okay, I want everyone to know that was Tiffany Hobbs. Okay, when the fine comes in, send it to Tiffany Hobbs.
You know, I get the viral stories. I bring them to the people. I want you guys to know what's being talked about out
This
there.
is literally all the rage now.
It's
it is no
all
longer
the
just
rage.
us that is discussing head transplants, head massages.
No.
See, what you don't
Head
understand
treatments.
is you're making my job much more difficult.
You've turned an interesting color of
How am I supposed to make this
rouge
turn?
over there?
Okay?
I have a question. Tiffany,
Mark.
Does the head spa employ a head nurse? Also, what's tipping etiquette for such an occasion?
Well, they're going to turn around a screen and ask you two questions.
The bigger the tip, Mark. The bigger the tip.
I do.
Thank you.
Don't say the second half of the sentence, please.
I can't.
Okay, we're going to let this breathe for about 10 seconds before we do the tease for the next segment.
That's what she said.
Oh, boy. Now we got to start the count over.
That's what she said.
Let's have that tease.
That's what she said. You need a head spa, Mo. You need a break.
Damn you all. Damn you all. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
You're listening to Later with Mo Kelly on demand from KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640 is Later with Mo Kelly. We're live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. There were some really, really funny and inappropriate moments tonight. Please blame Tiffany Hobbs for that. It was all her fault. Do not get on the mic. We're going to get another SEC fine if you keep it up. Coming up in just a few minutes will be Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie, and he joins me now on the show. Good evening, sir.
Mr. Kelly, we've got a classic Coast to Coast show tonight. We're talking about past lives. We're talking about psychics. We're doing it all tonight on Coast to Coast.
Now, when you say doing it all, I need an alien in there or two or 8 of them.
No aliens tonight.
Okay. I'll forgive you this time. Don't let it happen again.
By the way, that was very foul you had on the air. Just want you to know.
Look, it wasn't my fault. I lost control.
My mother called me about you.
Now, why you got to bring your mama into it?
Well, she called. She heard you.
What did she say, though?
She thought you were a decent young man. Now she's questioning.
Oh, I'm here to tell you I am not a decent and I'm not young.
Let's not let her know that.
Bye, George.
See ya.
And before we get out of here, just got to let you know one more time. From Dawn Patrol to Sunset Sessions, the U.S. Open is summer here in Southern California. The Lexus U.S. Open of Surfing, which is presented by Pacifico, is returning to the Huntington Beach Pier this weekend. You can enjoy music on the beach. You can enjoy the food, shopping, and more. Visit worldsurfleague.com and Eventbrite for all the event details. But more importantly, you can catch Tim Conway Jr. live in Huntington Beach tomorrow from 4 to 7 p.m. at BJ's Restaurants and Brew House right there on Main Street. So if you can't make it out to Tim's remote tomorrow, we'll just look out for you on the sand this weekend. And before we get out of here, I often get messages from you. You may inbox me, message me on Facebook at Mr. Mo Kelly or at Later with Mo Kelly on Facebook, or you can hit me on Instagram if you're going to send me a message at Later with Mo Kelly, at Mr. Mo Kelly, asking about, is this true or is this real, or you want to disagree with me about something. That's fine. Just be respectful. If you want to have a conversation, I am all for respectful conversations. But if you just want to name call and everything, I'll just block you. That's it. You don't get two chances with me. Just act like you have some home training and we'll be fine. Tiffany Hobbs, she barely has any home training, so I'm getting ready to kick her out of the studio. She's sullied my name.
As if it weren't sully already.
I know, I got to let people, no, I'm not decent and I'm not young, so it's okay if people think different of me now. Look, I never had any respect for Mark Runner. I mean, he's not even worth respecting. So
your ignorance makes me ill and angry. Ill and angry.
Something tells me you were born angry. I was born angry. I know I was.
Oh, I knew we had something in common.
Yeah. My mother said I was screaming a fit when I was born.
And we probably both need the head clinic or whatever the hell that was.
I think it's
the head spa.
Yeah, okay.
Get it right.
Head clinic, head spa. Get off my back.
No, after the spa, you'll have to go to the clinic. There's the difference.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
I'll wait for mine. I earned that one. I'll wait. Estoy esperando. Oh. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Mo, I was telling Tawala during the last break that it would be a great idea for all of us to make that the next later outing. Instead of going to the movies.
What, go to the clinic?
We can go. No, you do that on your own time. We can go to the head spa and just have the treatments, kind of pick the lowest on the menu, spend a few dollars. And
let me be absolutely serious for a moment. I'm kind of particular with people touching me like that.
Okay.
And I'm not really comfortable in those types of situations.
Do you do regular massages?
No.
Not really into that.
No, I've never really been into that. I'm being absolutely serious.
I'm glad you're saying this because I feel the same way.
Yeah, it's like a complete stranger. I mean, when I'm especially if it's not one of them massages. You know what I mean? If I'm going in, what? If I'm going in there and I need some special attention, that's one thing. But if I'm just trying to get, a Thai massage or Swedish massage, I don't like people touching me like that, especially complete strangers. I'm weird like that.
It's their job. Do you do chiropractors?
I had to do a chiropractor when I was in this accident where I was hit as a pedestrian by a drunk driver who came around the corner and slid to the other side of the street where I was standing talking through the driver's side of my sister's car, sideswiped my sister's car and hit me. Long story short, I was going to see a chiropractor. Legitimate reason, not for like insurance reasons, but legitimate reasons for about 6 months. Mm-hmm. And that was different because it was more just like they would do the head adjustment. And then they would have this machine for the spine that would do spinal adjustments and everything. Mm-hmm. But there wasn't too much hands-on.
But it's very similar. It's a stranger. It's someone employed to do this, to touch you in intimate ways.
But not as intimate as a massage. Not as intimate where you're partially disrobed or fully disrobed. And I know there's a towel on you. But still, it's a different level of invasion of space.
Like the music and the
I'm not trying to get comfortable. It's not some ambiance. It's like, this is a stranger. I was like, that's not my thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm really, really particular about certain stuff. And that's just one of them. I've never had the desire to go to the massage parlors. Nothing. It doesn't entertain me. It doesn't.
Trying to find the right verb.
Yes. There? Yeah. I got to be very particular. It's
Choose your verb carefully.
It doesn't entice me in any way. I'll just leave it at that. That's just me. I can't speak for Stefan. Maybe that's his thing.
I'll go with you, Tiffany.
Thank you, Steph.
Wait a minute. You'll both go to the spa together? You go get a head spa?
Mark's
together?
Coming too. Tawala is too.
Oh, I think not.
Mark and I are simpatico when it comes to that.
Yeah, and that kind of thing. Yeah. In fact, it's funny. When I worked at the Seattle Times, there was a period where they had a professional massage therapist come. Because, people sit at their desks all day. You get sore or whatever. Sitting is the new smoking and all that kind of whatever. Anyway, I tried it a couple times because it was cheap. Because not only am I uptight about this stuff, but I'm cheap. It's the weirdest thing in the world. This woman, big woman, could have been Fraulein Bunt from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. She was not there.
That's very specific.
Yeah, she was not there to look appealing to anybody. And yet still, when you're in that vulnerable situation, somebody's touching you like that, no bueno. Don't like it. Very uncomfortable.
I don't like when doctors touch me, and if it were like a professional environment, I would never want anyone to give me a shoulder massage. No. I'm just weird like that. Keep your hands to yourself.
Well, we're the normal ones. I think that's the upshot of this whole conversation. Foosh and Tiffany
we have fun.
Are...
Y'all are sexual deviants going to massage parlors and doing stuff that's illegal in most states.
Takes out the toxins, Mo. Well,
take a shower.
It's not the same.
Well, because you have a reference point?
Is that what we're
Look at the time. Don't answer the question, Stephen. It's later with Mo Kelly. KFI AM 640. We're live everywhere in the iHeartRadio app.
We go through all the that's going on so that we can tell you just the you need to know.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.